He took a very bad beating that night. I think he should have retired then.
This is Jonathan Aggie of Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by the Sun's Colin Hart here. Final press conference. We've just finished. Derek Chisora and Joe Joyce going at it this Saturday at the O2. Colin, what did you make of the press conference antics up there?
Well, it didn't exactly inspire me. I mean, it's the usual rubbish about what they're going to do and what they're not going to do to each other on the night. I mean, it's an interesting fight, but, you know, it doesn't exactly make the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, the thought of it. I mean, I think Chisora shouldn't be fighting. I thought after he lost to Fury, he took a very bad beating that night. I think he should have retired then. So, you know, I hope that win, lose or draw, this time he turns it in.
How much is there for Joe Joyce to lose in this fight? You know, if he loses this fight, is that kind of it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Chisora is at the end of let's be honest, a very, very good career. I mean, he's fought everybody. I think he's fought Fury 3 times, Joseph Parker twice, Pulev twice, Hay, Vitaly Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko. The man has got nothing left to prove. He's been a British, Commonwealth and European champion. He's had a 17-year career. That is enough for any man. Now, with Joyce, if he loses to Chisora, there is nowhere for him to go. He should find something else to make a living.
How do you think it's going to play out on Saturday night?
Well, I think neither will be able to get out the way of each other's punches. I think Joyce must be considered the favourite.
Talk to me about Moses Itauma. You know, you've seen loads of heavyweights come through. Where do you rank him? Or is it hard to tell at the moment?
Well, look, he is possibly going to be our top heavyweight down the road, but I'm afraid there's a long road to go. He's just 19 years of age. Let's not put too much pressure on him. He's a great prospect, a remarkable puncher, but he's 19. He's had, 11 fights? I can't remember exactly. Give him time. But the potential is there, and he's dedicated, so there's no reason, in maybe a couple of years' time, he could be fighting for the World Heavyweight title.
I just want to ask you about a fight I'm sure I'll see you at, Joshua against Daniel Dubois. What would you make of that fight? You know, is it a fight you like? How do you think it's going to play out?
Well, it's a fight that will capture the imagination of fans. I'm sure there'll be 90,000 plus at Wembley. If you've got to hand it to Dubois after his loss to Usyk, the way he bounced back against Herkovich was an outstanding performance. But he was taking right-hand punches for a couple of rounds in that fight. If he does that against Joshua, he'll get knocked out. I can't see Joshua losing to Daniel Dubois.
And then should that happen, where do you think Joshua will go from there? Do you think we'll finally get Fury? Or?
Well, that is the fight we've been waiting years for. It reminds me of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. We waited 7 years before that happened. We waited several years for Joshua and Fury. It's been close before. Hopefully, in 2025, we will actually see those men in the ring against each other.
Just wanted to ask you about, Tyson Fury. I believe today it's been reported that he's going to remain with his current training team, Sugar Hill and Andy Lee and John Fury. I can't quote the source, but I did see it online. What's your reaction to that? Did you think he needed to make a change or not?
No, not really. I think he needs to get his father out of his corner. I think that's what he needs to do. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with his training.
And in your opinion, does he win the rematch against Usyk?
No, I don't think so. I tipped Usyk, if you remember. I tipped Usyk to beat him in the fight they just had. I think the result will be the same in the return, or even wider.
Finally, Colin, we've got the Olympic Games coming up. You've covered, a lot of them. What are some of your best memories of, fighters you saw in the Olympics that went on to do big things?
Well, I covered 8 Olympic Games from Mexico in '68 to Atlanta in '96. And the great thing about Olympic boxing, you don't know any of them, only a few own guys from your own country. So when I think back, the first Olympics I covered, Mexico, a young heavyweight appeared, a man called George Foreman. How did I know then that 6 years later I was going to see him fight Ali in Zaire? You roll on to other Olympics, Sugar Ray Leonard, Leon Spinks, Meldrick Taylor. It's amazing the number of great fighters that won Olympic gold medals. And so I saw a lot of fighters I saw win gold. I had no idea they were going to become household names worldwide.
I mean, there's a guy fighting in the heavyweight division called Joyce-Chisora. He's fighting for Britain in this summer. I don't know how familiar you are, but do we need another crop of good heavyweights? Because we've got Joshua Fury, they're coming towards the end of their careers in a few years.
Delicious, I wrote about him in my column several months ago, which is he's a great guy, very intelligent young man, and I hope he can win the gold medal. But I don't think he punches hard enough, to be honest. But I'd love to see him win it. But, between 1936 and 1948, there were no Olympic Games because of World War II. But that didn't stop people like Sugar Ray Robinson, Willie Pep, Joe Louis becoming superstars. You don't have to win a gold medal to become a great fighter, but commercially, in this day and age, it helps.
Absolutely. Colin Hart, always a pleasure talking to you. We're here obviously at Joyce-Chisora this Saturday. Any final words? What are you looking forward to coming up in boxing?
Well, I've been doing this for 60-odd years, and I'm always excited by big fights. Hopefully, in the next year or two, we're going to see many more major occasions, whether it's in Riyadh or Wembley. Hopefully, more in Wembley than Riyadh.
Colin, always a pleasure, and I'll see you soon. See you on Saturday night.
Yeah, my pleasure.